Hey everyone, Mtashed here with episode number 1 of Balancing Destiny. Now before I begin, I want to let you know that it isn't going to be nerf this, nerf that every single episode. There are going to be episodes focused on buffing certain weapons, certain subclasses, and things like that, so don't get upset if I call for a nerf for a thing or two. I understand that some people want the game to be faster, and that means buffing things and making everything stronger, but in certain cases that doesn't work because it's just innately broken. It doesn't have counterplay, and that's why it needed to be nerfed. So, let's jump right into the episode. So Stormcaller as a whole is a pretty damn good class. The only thing that really struggles on the class are the grenades. But I think that's fair, because in 6v6 game modes, the super is one of the best in the game. Paired with Ionic Blink and a competent player, you can get right in on top of the enemy team, chaining lightning in their faces and making them cry because you just got a big-ass multi-kill for pretty well free. Now, the same thing can happen with the Nova Bomb. For the most part, you throw a Nova Bomb in a group of people, you're gonna get a big multi-kill. But the difference with Stormcaller is the AoE is massive. These little lightning fingers are spreading far and wide and able to move around the map. So what you end up getting is sometimes you don't get a big multi-kill, but you get a lot of kills over the period of the super, which, when using the proper perks, lasts for like 25 seconds. That is dumb. On a map like Exodus Blue, you can almost wipe the team twice before it's over. So, there needs to be some sort of counterplay there. Either the AoE needs to be more direct, you need to actually be aiming your damage, or it needs to be shorter. You can't have both. That's not how it works. You don't get a long-ass lasting super, longer than Golden Gun, longer than Blade Dancer, that has the ability to do way more damage to a team and not get punished anywhere. If you're going to keep both of those, then you need to start removing stats somewhere else. Movement speed. You need to reduce your base health or something like that when you're in your Storm Trance so that you can actually counter the super. Moving on to the melee. Holy shit, that melee. And I know a lot of you have run into the Stormcaller that is running around and he hits you with a shotgun max range, and then he taps you max range with a melee and you die, and it is rage-inducing. It feels awful. There's no counterplay to it, because if you're not playing a Stormcaller, you can't melee him, your shotgun can't do enough damage to two-bang him in that time. There is pretty well no way that you can win that engagement unless you're a Stormcaller. That isn't fun, that isn't counterplay. There's nothing you can do about it. If there's a Stormcaller with his melee charge up, he's pushing it on you with a shotgun, and he says, I'm gonna fucking take you out. He takes you out. You can't do anything about it. You just eat it. And it sucks. And I don't like that. So, there needs to be something changed. I don't know what the answer is at this point. I have no idea. Do you nerf the shotgun damage at a range a little bit more? Or do you hammer into Stormcaller? Let's say we did nerf the melee on Stormcaller. What do you do? If you reduce the base damage too much, then you're going to have engagements where you are close range, you're up on top of them, and you don't get the kill just because we nerfed that base damage. So maybe that's not the answer. If you nerf the range, there's going to be people complaining because you took away the identity of the Thunderstrike. It's supposed to be a long-range attack. It feels cool to land them sometimes, and that's part of the class. But maybe it's too long. Maybe you need to bring it down 10 or 15% just so that it's actually counterable. It's still better than everyone else's, it's still got way more range, but maybe at this point it's a bit too long. If that range doesn't get nerfed, then they're going to have to do something where maybe at the max range damage is reduced. Let's say you map someone max range, you're only doing 60 or 70 damage instead of the 100 and some that it does now. That way it feels more of a cleanup at a max range than just a full-on, I'm going to do this every single time I see you. To end things, Stormcaller isn't broken. I mean, it's not a broken class that everyone's playing and freaking out about, but it's got a couple things that are pretty strong. There are other classes like the Striker Titan that isn't broken, but people are complaining because of the nerfs before. There might be a thing or two that the Striker Titan needs changed, maybe tuned, but it's not a broken class. Same thing with Gunslinger. That isn't a broken class, that isn't a weak class, it's still really fucking good, but people like to complain. So, with the changes that we talk about in these episodes, they're going to be, for the most part, logical changes with things that are completely out of whack. things that are obviously too strong, things that are obviously too weak, and we're going to debate them, and I don't have all the answers, as I said before. I don't have a direct line to Bungie saying, change this, boys, that's it, frickin' get rid of it. But at least we can get the discussion going and hopefully make progress towards a balanced game. Make sure to leave your comments in the description if you want to debate this, but please be civil. Don't be calling people out and calling people idiots or assholes or whatever it might be in the comment section. That gains you nothing. You just look like a jerk. Let's talk about it, let's debate, and let's get balancing this beauty of a game called Destiny. All right, that's it from me. See you later, my friends. Bye-bye.